Will as sustainably planted. Pledge allegiance to the United States and to the republic for which it stands one nation.
Kathy Fuller.
Here.
Ann Brown. Here. David Krause.
Here.
Joey O'Dea.
Here.
Don Rosenthal. Brandy Thomas.
Here.
Nick Patel.
Yeah.
Jamie Walker. Shawnee Walker. Here. Cardi B.
Here.
Jeff Simmons.
Here.
Benjamin Poppett. Here.
Thank you everyone for coming. At this time, if we have any additions or deletions to the agenda, you have anything, Dan?
I do not.
You do not? Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda? Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Motion carries. Okay, we'll move on to number 5. We'll approve the minutes of the April 17th, 2025 meeting. Anybody have any questions about the minutes? If not, I take motion. Approve. Approve. Second. No, second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Motion carries. Joey?
Yes, sir. As many of you know, we had Economic Development Week, the 5th through the 9th. And the goal of Economic Development Week really is to keep eyes on Columbia County. Those that don't know about Columbia County, to get them looking at us. So just a quick recap. Michelle, if I mess this up, I'll come right into you. So why Economic Development Week? I'm not going to read the whole blurb. But really our goal is that we want to showcase Columbia County as the premier place to live, work, and invest. This year, coincidentally, Economic Development Week, Small Business Week, and Travel and Tourism Week all fell in a 2-week time frame. So we combined forces to have 1 week-long celebration to really highlight and talk about how all of those different entities play a part in Economic Development Week. So Monday, we had a fiesta for development, tourism, and commerce. Tuesday was all about tourism. Wednesday was highlighting a celebration of community and business partnerships. Thursday was the wastewater treatment plant ribbon cutting out of the industrial park. And then Friday, we had our signature luncheon. Again, Monday was the fiesta. It was great. Each of the entities had a little bit of a vendor booth, I guess you would call it, highlighting different businesses and what all the entities do for Columbia County. Tuesday, we call it a taste of tourism. It was fantastic. Clint gave a fantastic presentation about tourism in Columbia County and the impact it has on economic development. And then Aaron from the IPIS Extension Office gave a fantastic guided tour of Alligator Lake. You can ask Michelle, and it was gator mating season. Had everybody on the boats. We saw a bunch of critters, tried to catch a snake, tried to get an alligator. It was a lot of fun.
We've seen all of it.
Yeah. Wednesday, Nick was gracious enough to give us a fantastic talk about the impact of tourism in our community and a behind the scenes look at Town Place Suites, which if you have not been to yet, it is beautiful. They had a great ballroom for a meeting. Thursday, which was huge, not just for our community, but for the region, was the wastewater treatment plant at North Florida Mega Industrial Park. Great turnout of that. In my 5 years in the chamber, it is the first time we've cut a ribbon for something that processes waste. So we'll cut a ribbon for anything. And Friday, we ended the week with our signature luncheon at the Blanche. Shelly Phelps, who some of you might have heard at Frida last year. Shelly comes from a town of Wetumpka, Alabama. If you know anything about Wetumpka, have you ever seen the movie Big Fish? That's where Wetumpka is set. Her town was dying. She gave a great talk on really the power of collaboration and community and investing in your downtown and in your small town feel. Testimonial. Carol Saviak, who many of you know from FPL, serves in a regional capacity. She just said this week highlighted the positive partnerships between local government, businesses, and nonprofit organizations and showcased a wide array of economic development activities underway in Columbia County. Jeff Henry, Executive Director of NFEDP, so that the week was a tremendous week-long event. It was a great balance of education and information exchange. Jeannie Rickman, who is the Economic Development Coordinator, Director for Congresswoman Kamak's office, said Columbia County is growing in a very positive way. For the collaboration of the business community, leadership, and key stakeholders, really so many accomplishments in a week-long event. Statistics, again, our goal for Economic Development Week is to get eyes on Columbia County. These numbers are actually a few weeks old, so they've only grown since we made this presentation. Our social media reach was 21,641 people with over 40,000 impressions. 103 businesses across the region were represented as far as Tallahassee and Orlando and Jacksonville. And then 213 individual professionals from across the region attended the events throughout the week. Our coverage was also fantastic. Great coverage from the Lake City Reporter highlighted throughout the week. TV 20 was fantastic to us. They serve in a regional capacity. They highlighted every single day, whether they could be in Lake City or not. And then again, the reporter highlighted the industrial park ribbon cutting. And I believe that's it. Any question? Here, do you want me to try to play that video?
I just like the advantage of you, Jennifer, and the Chamber of Commerce. Y'all done a great job throughout the week. Good job highlighting Columbia County.
ABC also was included in that as well. We did
Everybody involved.
hard work, community
Did a great job.
planning, so thank everyone.
Thing you want to do?
Yes, I will. Economic Development Specialist Report. Okay, we applied for the Small Business Support Grant. It's for $25,000. We are just waiting to hear back from that. USDA grants loan update. I have a contact with the USDA program, and in speaking with her at this time, mostly there are loans that one would have to apply for, and there is significant red tape sometimes to cut through in order to be considered. I mean, along with the eligibility, then other things that they're looking at. Grants at this time, there's just not an opportunity when it comes down to grants. And if they are more toward energy saving and larger businesses. Business retention and expansion, that's my group update. I'm up to about 62, 63 businesses. And we are looking to start back up meetings in August. We have had 2 meetings, one highlighting cybersecurity, in the meeting, cybersecurity, Play Easy, which is a marketing tool, a free marketing tool for our businesses. And the other meeting was scheduled to be on insurance and security safe. I will be surveying these companies, asking what they need to see. So when we start up again in the fall, we can bring those type of resources to them. Are there any questions?
So Faye, the new budget I just read this morning, it's probably gonna pass. I think it just passed through the Senate. Does Columbia County get anything out of it or any? I'm
Okay,
curious.
I haven't heard anything about the budget, so, okay, sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes, there's two projects that are legislative appropriations that are in approved budget right now. One of them is in Ellisville, it's through the utility authority, which I was going to talk about later when we talk about the utility authority. And it is to build a second force main and upgrade the pump station in the Ellisville area to accommodate the busy bee and the growth of Ellisville. And the other one is a public safety issue, putting equipment on the radio tower that we're working on this year so that it'll be fully functional and cover the Swanee Valley area. Additionally, they did fund 20 million rural infrastructure fund for grants, and I believe 17 million for the Florida Jobs Growth Grant. We're waiting to see if some of the other policy things that we wanted in there got through. Some of the stuff we were really pushing, like trying to keep us a rural county, keep us under the threshold limits, were in the rural bill.
Yeah.
That did not make it. So we're trying to see if it got snuck in there some other way, so.
any more questions? Okay,
Economic Development Director report. All right. In May, Jennifer and myself, we attended the Florida Economic Development Council conference, and our Economic Development Department received 2 awards: Rural Project of the Year, as well as Innovation in Public and Private Partnerships. This was a really great surprise for us, and we were very happy to bring that home to Columbia County. It's a wonderful achievement. As well, going on to item B, the incoming chairperson for NSEDP is Jennifer Daniels. So we're very proud of our Jennifer for that. That will be, I believe, for 2 years, which also means there's an open spot on the FRIDA board, which she will probably be doing as well. This is very important for us because now we have a stake, we have a place at the table, so our ideas in Columbia County can be heard, so that's great. The Economic Development Symposium, please keep an eye out, we will be sending information out on that. We did have it slated for June, but they decided to push it off to another date, so we will be sending out information, that will be to be determined, so watch your email for that.
got it. Oh, so the NFPDP held their meeting, in Lake City.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
So go by a little bit. And I was gonna thank Nick for hosting us.
Yes, thank you so much.
That was a great
for
event.
that. That was a great meeting. I'm sure, unfortunately, I was out ill, but we were very thankful that you allowed us to hold it there, and the sorry.
But, so, yeah, no, it was a great meeting, great turnout, and, like I say, couldn't ask for a better facility to have it in. Everybody spoke highly of it, and they really enjoyed it. And that's great asset to Columbia County to have that meeting here. I don't know how many people were there, but I suspect there was close to 300 people in that room.
100,
Yeah.
there was a lot. That was wonderful. They did such a good job.
So we do thank you for all you do, and you do a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right.
Okay, so North Florida Water Utility Authority, I'm gonna give a little bit on that, then David can jump in. We did hire the executive director. We have him on staff now. He's working full time for the utility. We're looking for great things in the future with this, working with different state agencies and water management. Yeah. We did, it's governor signed that we did get our first grant for a utility project in Ellisville through the for utility authority, so, had a slow start, but we're up and running now, I hope, and I hope there's a lot of bigger things in the future. David, if you want to comment.
So yeah, where they're at, because everyone always says, you know, what's going on, where's it at? He started June 9th. That was his first day. So he's kind of trying to catch up and get things going. And he's basically having to create the business from scratch. So he's, because of the budget season, he has to prepare his budget for next year so that he can ask two county commissions to fund whatever needs to be funded for next year. So he's heavily into budgeting. We're in the middle of a rate study with Raptelis. And so there's a lot of data collection we're putting together to evaluate not only there'll be a rate study for Columbia County and a rate study for Suwannee County, but then a combined rate study if it confirms. There's a lot of misunderstanding of what's going to happen when. The ultimate goal from our standpoint, county standpoint, is that at some point we won't be in the utility business, and the authority will be the utility business. That doesn't happen overnight, unfortunately. You just can't suddenly say, well, here's the keys to the car and take it, because there's a lot of legal details you got to deal with. We all have grants going on. The grants have obligations and contracts, and we have to live with the contract. We also have contracts at the North Florida Mega Industrial Park with the city. So we're working on a way to speed up the process so they are in charge of the utilities. And I would request if we could add them to this committee at some point. Because I assume if you're doing economic development, you want the utility people in the room, even if it's in an ex officio capacity. That would be to Shannon Roberts. So how do we facilitate it and make it go faster, even though we know it's not going to be an overnight process? I also wanted to add, I forgot to mention one thing earlier. The TDC stuff did not go through on the coastal communities. So, you know, it's a big economic development. TDC is a big economic development driver. They had bills that said the money that the bed tax raises could be used for things other than TDC. Some of the bills said even eliminate the TDCs. None of that passed. The only thing that passed was those coastal communities, those counties along the Gulf, can use their bed tax money for things other than TDC. We're not on the coast, so that does not apply. Our business goes on as usual. And I appreciate everybody's help, did contact the state on that issue. This was an important issue. In terms of the utility authority, they meet the first Wednesday of every month. I believe the next meeting will be in Suwannee County. They rotate between here and Suwannee County. Of course, you're all welcome to attend the meetings, and have any questions, happy to answer.
Yeah, I think when I called in Tallahassee, I was actually told that the House did put that in, knowing that it was just there to pull the strings so that it could negotiate as in the Senate. So they knew that this was not going to go through, but they'll put something like that to get something from the Senate. That's exactly what happened.
That's good.
David, did you touch on the live local act? What did they were talking about changing that where you couldn't opt out. Did that go through, or do you know?
I don't know, but I'll ask. I'll reach out to our.
Maybe at the next meeting, we can get an update on that live local act also, because that's something that's.
We still have opted out of the having to give the tax break for at least 2 years. So the question is, at the end of that, our current opt-out, are we still going to be able to do that? Or is it something the legislature just said, too bad, just said, you no longer can opt out, you have to give the tax break?
The last thing I read on it, they were trying to help the bill that you cannot opt out at 2-year term.
Yeah.
So if that goes through, you're gonna see a lot of rural ag property and maybe, I don't know, you're gonna see development in agricultural properties that basically we have no say so. We need to really pay attention to that and look at it.
So Rocky, any update on that particular issue across from the hospital? I think I was told that it was in the lottery or something like that. I don't know whether.
There was some property right there.
Yeah, what's going to be picked. Don't know what happened.
I think that kind of not gonna happen right now. I'm gonna step out ahead of it too much, but sounds like that.
I did hear rumors that they did at least talk with the city about annexation. But whether they move forward on that, I couldn't tell you.
So, anybody else?
So to help me understand the TDC thing, the way it is now, after they did that, our TDC revenue is gonna stay just like it's going now.
Yeah, nothing changes.
And we'll still be allowed to have a TDC.
Right.
There were some bills that said we're just eliminating TDC.
Still, the revenue stream would still go just where it's going now.
Yes, everything stays the same. And next year's legislature starts early because it's an election year. So we need to think about if this board has any priorities you wish us to push in the next session. We need to be able to get those to the legislature by October. Because again, they start in January, and so we'll need to start pushing local bills in October.
David, can you give a kind of a brief overview of the ultimate vision of the utility authority, other than to get Columbia County and Suwannee County government out of the utility business? What is the overall vision of it?
Well, their vision, and again,
I mean, if
Commissioner Ford is the chairman.
comes in and says, hey, take over ours.
So Commissioner Fordman's the chair, so I'll defer to him on their vision.
So it's possible, yes. At some point, we expect maybe some other counties to get involved on. Some other counties have showed interest. City of Live Oak right now, I really haven't heard anything from them, but some other smaller counties like us have showed interest about joining the utility. One particular was Hamilton County. They're still typing, the company because, and they were looking at one time thinking they might have to take over the utilities in White Springs. Hopefully they're getting that resolved there a little bit, but that was a big deal. Hamilton County to go over that utility also, because to do with town to county would,
Right.
Or they'd have to hire some into, the utilities that would come in to do it. So, the ultimate goal is to, right now, Columbia County and Suwannee County utilities, to be involved and at some point take over the operation of maintenance now, hopefully in the next few months. Will be doing operation maintenance. And at some point, all the assets would be brought into the utilities. One county, of course, the plants and stuff like that. The regional utility will be the utility authority for Columbia and Suwannee County, hopefully it'll all take place over the next couple of years.
So from the standpoint of qualifying for various grants or economic development programs that could help develop infrastructure as needed, I mean, the utility authority is just as capable as a county government.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know if did you attend the stakeholders meeting we had at college?
No, I did not.
So, Suwannee Water Management, Charlie can speak on that a little bit if you want to. So, everybody like Suwannee Water Management, DEP, they're wanting to fund regional projects. That's where everything's going to regional projects.
Right.
So, if you turn in a regional project, you have a better advantage of getting that grant to the region because it's benefiting more people, bigger areas and stuff. And that's mostly what they talk about. Is everything's heading to regional projects. And the bottom line is everything's getting so expensive. It's hard for one municipality to do it, by themselves.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
a perfect example, I guess, would be projects right now that are going on in Suwannee County, up around the interchange in Welland. They have the ability to provide water and sewer to, I guess they're mobile home parks or RV parks. They're in Columbia County that nobody else in Columbia County can serve. And this benefits because you're getting septic tanks off the Suwannee. It provides water and sewer on the west side of Columbia County that there is no utilities close by. I mean, we just have areas of the county, there just are no utilities. So It allows us to better utilize those resources.
And as the south end of the county grows, the utilities get into that. Hopefully, we can go over and serve part of Swanee County or other than that.
Right.
So,
There were some discussions when the Fort White sewer plant goes in, for instance. One of the goals is that it extends to Three Rivers. Well, if they can do Three Rivers on the Columbia County side, it could be extended to Three Rivers on the Swanee County side, where Swanee County has no utilities in that area at all.
yeah, that's, and like I tell people all the time, like it or not, you're gonna get septic tanks off the rivers and away from spring. That's gonna happen. Whether you support it or don't support it, that's gonna happen and happen pretty quick. So, the money, the state got the money there to do it, they've got a mandate to do it, and they're gonna make it happen in some way or other, and the counties and the municipalities, they're vehicle to get that done.
And the commissioners let me know as a county, we don't want to long-term be in the utility business because we feel between the city of Lake City and the utility authority, there are better people to do it.
What do you want to touch on that a little bit with the payments program?
Regionalization to it.
Yeah.
Just for what David just mentioned. Individual counties, you keep throwing money into these areas. It doesn't fix the problem, just Band-Aid. So as far as the government, the legislature, they're looking at regionalization. I think it's a great start. 20 in Columbia are the main players in this whole 15 county district. So I think Mr. Johnson from Clay County, a lot of offer Shannon, rely on him. And he's a good guy. He seems willing to help. Wealth of experience, got a great facility, running well. In fact, I think Swan River's going to take a field day over there, for one of our meetings, just to review what they've done. I think it's good. They will rely on his knowledge. I think it'll go a long way. Shannon's going to need help. I mean, he doesn't have a background in that. So, good man, good businessman. He accepts leadership. He'll be fine.
I agree with David about getting him involved with this board. Is there a need to have a motion and take action on that, or just extend an invitation?
We can definitely do it either way. I mean, if you want to make him a member of this board, Shannon,
That's your call.
I would think you'd make him a member. I mean, we have a member here at college and
That's what I was going to, excuse me, I'm sorry. Let me check with Jennifer, because right now this board, I think we are full. There are some people who are not here. And yes, check the bylaws to make sure that we can do that. And we'll discuss that at the next.
But we can definitely extend an invitation to him.
Definitely, we can send an invitation to attend.
And if you want to make a motion, you can,
This board invitation would affect if he sat in at information.
Yeah, it's just, let's check the bylaws on that, but you can definitely attend.
So I need to vote on that, that we get send an invitation.
Yeah, we'll extend the invitation.
situation.
Yeah, we'll assess the situation once we check and everything. But yeah, you spoke about Mr. Johnson of Clay County Utilities. He has been a great help. Shannon has talked to him, I've talked to him quite a bit, and he has some great ideas. And I say it all the time, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. People's already doing this. People already done it, they know what works, and we need to take advantage of their knowledge and use that knowledge as much as we can.
Absolutely. Yeah. JEA and Clay's probably involved also. But they're working on a super project right now.
Mhm.
They're very excited about. Got a lot of loose ends to tie up, but could be good for everybody. And,
I'm excited about it. We're finally moving
We'd
forward.
like to see some water back in
I think it's, I think it's gonna be great for Columbia, Swanee County and other municipalities if they choose to join in. I think, our county attorney, Mr. Foreman, said it best at the stakeholders meeting. Why would you not want to be a part of utility? If you're the utility business, why would you not want to be a part of it?
In the future, it's gonna involve a lot of piping. We can Key West. How they do their water and sewer for miles. The big projects, mobile county areas, regional areas, there'll be a lot of piping. You're gonna have to get the effluent there for the treatment area. And Columbia County also has a great facility with Kirby Pit with the right treatment. So, I mean, we're sitting in a
We're looking at all those issues.
position as any of the small counties in North Florida. We have some available land here. But it's all about the money for regionalization.
But we all know utilities are a major part of economic development. Without it, you don't get certain economic development.
That's it.
We do know that. We have to keep expanding. We have to protect our rivers and streams out there. Our springs. I think the state of Florida is, in the water management district, they're really serious about that right now. They're willing to spend the money to do it right now. They have a pretty good fund in place already.
Well, and if you think about all the projects that we do with farmers are great. They participate in all kinds of water saving projects that we come up with. But even with all that we do, we barely keep up with the growth. We're in such a growth spurt. You save, 50 million gallons a day here, but then you use it over here in the end results, no gain.
Yeah.
So, or very little. And everybody's trying to sacrifice. So it's got to be a bigger project that helps more volume.
Any more discussion? We go to public comment. Okay, public comment? Yeah. All right,
Every time I say something in jail.
so our next advertised meeting is July 17th, 2025. Everybody put that on their calendar, 8:30. Any more discussion? We'll adjourn.